Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm still trying out this demo for Roadwarden. I didn't stop at any clean stopping point. I was just in the middle of a conversation last session. And that was a couple days ago for me. I haven't had time to get back to it. But I remember what was going on, I think. You know, I'm a Roadwarden. That's the end of the story. I met some soldiers, chatted with them about the neighboring area. Decided I am not one of the psychos who exhausts every dialogue option with everybody. So I decided I was going to be done. I don't need to ask these questions. They're here to guard this post. And if she wanted to tell me what happened to her squad, she would have said so. I gave her a chance by asking about, you know, other things. We may not be around the next time you come here. That's fine. We should prepare for the night anyway. I agree, Talia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Asteria did. Stay vigilant, she winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Oh my gosh, is she flirting with me? Open the archive to reread the most recent text. I see. So this is like just the most recent 50 sentences or something. It's not cut off at any particular relevant point. Alright. Thanks for your help. One more thing, if I can. The bearded man approaches you. Can you take the first watch? Splitting time between 3 people makes a great difference. You think for a moment. To fully rest, you'd need a good sleep. I feel like in video games these days, or I don't know, for a long time, the player is kind of encouraged to be impossibly helpful, right? Like I don't play games like Skyrim or World of Warcraft or whatever, but there's this you know, you go into town and you look for the shopkeeper or whatever, and they say, I need you to kill 26 rats. And you're like, okay. I don't have anything better to do than kill 26 rats, right? And, to just sort of know that it doesn't really cost you anything, and you know you'll be getting a reward. But I don't know if this is necessarily that, kind of game, right? I mean, it isn't. But is it appropriate to decline? I traveled all day to get here. They've just been sitting. They've been keeping watch every day. Are we friends? Should I do them a favor and stay up? I know I had an exhausting trip here. I remember I was feeling tired. I think, you guys are the soldiers. I could keep watch tomorrow if you want, but today it's up to you. He nods, but the spark in his eyes wears off. I better put on my armor. He walks past you, heading to his tent by the southern gate. I go to my mount. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. On the other hand, I guess I am like the Roadwarden. My job is to help out people along the road somehow, including these guys. Maybe I should have taken a watch with them. I'm sure they're tired too. Oh well, too late. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. Oh my god, another stat from you. Stay tidy to have a better chance to influence others. I'm at 2 out of 5 stinkiness, or 3 out of 5 stinkiness, I guess. 5 would be you look great, I guess. You splash some water, okay. I need a bath. My horse is asleep. Yep. I look for a place protected from wind. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket on the ground, and cover myself with my cloak. Oh yeah, that's right. They're making me sleep on the ground, too. I'm not keeping watch for you jerks. Can't even sleep in your tent. You aren't used to sleeping in such harsh conditions, but it's better than nothing. The weather is gentle. Maybe you won't catch a cold. Another calmest place. The stars instantly inspire your dreams, both with their splendor and by making you look for patterns and shapes among them. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. I still don't think I know what my real goal is. My character knows, I assume. But I don't think it was ever explained to them what I'm supposed to do. Explore the peninsula, I guess. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Oh, okay. They're telling me my job. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, resources, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavan officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Okay, so this is setting up the structure of the game, I guess. My objective is to just, like, look around, find out what's going on, scout for particular things, and I'll report back to the city after 40 days. Okay. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Talia and return to Havlavan. Right. That's after 40. They don't mean like today's reconnaissance, they mean 40 days of it. There, you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Oh, I get to pick a goal. How nice. I need to gather some extra coins so I can help a person I care about. I need to gather some extra coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity and safety. If I gather enough connections among the local leaders, I'll use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the soul who brought peace and order to this realm, a hero. I just want to help people, make this region safer for the locals and the newcomers alike. I need to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past and I want it to be forgotten. Which of these, A, fits the character as I've imagined them so far, and B, seems like an interesting direction to move the character in next? The main thing I remember about my character, I mean, A, I'm a fighter. B, they asked me about my faith, and I said, you know, the village that I come from, everybody is unique and special. I mean, we're not all like Harry Potter, but like, you know, my faith, such as it is in community. So it makes some sense to help a person I care about, maybe. I don't see myself as a Merchant Guild guy or someone looking for prosperity and safety. A hero seems a little ambitious. So I think like choices 2 or 5 make the most sense to me. I don't have a difficult past. I grew up with people I love. So do I want to help people, or do I want to help a person I care about? These are kind of goody two-shoes answers, both, I suppose. But I mean, well, okay, I don't know. These aren't. But not so hopelessly naive as to say, I just want to be a hero. I kind of feel like if you take on the Roadwarden job, are you just doing it for money? To help someone you care about? I guess you could be. But, like, making the road safe, it seems like I should be embracing the role of Roadwarden on my first playthrough, at least. There's a reason I picked this job to make money instead of some other job. Maybe it's to make the region safer for the locals. New shelter unlocked? Oh, like this camp has become a shelter I can visit in the future, maybe? Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you can't travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. You need to gather your strength. Yes, I can't do any of this other stuff. I need to sleep. All I can do now is rest. Sleeping on the ground. Your blanket won't be much of a bed, and the palisade barely covers you from the wind. Sleeping here will be severely uncomfortable. Okay, well, not much I can do about that. I'll lose... What are the... I don't remember what all of these stats are called. Vitality or something? This is my... awakeness? And this is my stinkiness. Or the opposite, my cleanliness. So this would have been a good time to stop after the first session, but I didn't know when it was coming up, and I didn't want to just keep playing forever. We hear morning birds, and the music has stopped. You're surrounded by sunlight. Your back begs you to stand up. Before you fully wake up, you smell a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls toward your consciousness. You stand up. Normally you would dust off your cape and blanket, but your instincts are stronger than your routine. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. Well, I have no choices but to go outside and see what's happening. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Talia is the first one to address you. Leto. Yes, I had forgotten my name. It's Leto. She greets you with a nod. We used the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning that up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter. A young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later... Okay, so this is an example of another time that, like... Well, no. The game has explained to me multiple things that are like... something everybody in the world already knows. But some of them have stood out to me because it's like, yeah, they're things everybody in the real world knows too. You don't have to tell me what a horse is. This one is about to tell me, you know, some fact, oh yeah, everybody turns into undead eventually, or something like that. I haven't finished the paragraph. And that, I suppose, is also something that everyone in the world knows, but not everyone in the real world. So I don't know. I kind of like that the other things they've explained to me that everyone in the world knows are kind of laying the stage for explaining things to me that my character and everyone in the game world knows. Now this doesn't stand out as much, in a way. Anyway, sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. I'm not sure what fogs are. They're like recurring weather events, or... I don't know if weather is the right word, but... Like, she didn't say one more night. Fogs occur regularly, but not every day, I guess. And they strengthen the undeads. Okay. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even roadwardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Talia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Interesting. So, like, the church, United Church, or whatever they were called, which Talia subscribes to, doesn't consider undead people. Or even animals. They are its, right? They are ungendered, I assume. Interesting. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She looks again at the fire. Find us here if you learn what happened to Asterion. We leave once the fall comes, if not sooner. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Talia's voice. She observes the fire with one hand on her hip, the other one on her chin. Safe travels. So this is a world where traveling is so, like, inherently unsafe that nobody even says safe travels anymore. Okay. I prepare myself for the journey. use the travel button, so we're learning about traveling. You gather your equipment and spend half an hour warming up and preparing your mount, double-checking the buckled straps. You put on your gambeson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt, then get in the saddle. The palfrey knickers, ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads, north from here. Okay, travel. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak to Talia to return to Havlavin. Okay, so there's a map here. Map key, I see. So this is the whole map key. I know one place I can sleep. Now the soldier said I can sleep here anytime, so if for some reason I go north, but I'm not ready to go home, but I need somewhere to sleep, I could come back here. Alright, travel north. Even at a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I consider my options. I see. The dice involves a random choice. Okay. You can't enter the forest blindly. So I guess, okay, the forest is where the T is here. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple of hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Talia. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. If you have any vitality points, you use your warrior's training to access special... I see. Use violence or a direct threat. I do have vitality. I mean... So I think take my axe and hurry the horse means like try to run past them, basically. Wait them out. Now, I mean, we're basically suggesting that if I shoot one of them, it'll panic, screech, and the others will screech even if they don't know what, like... They're not smart enough to know that I'm the one who shot them, basically. They'll panic and run away, and then I can get moving. My recollection is that I have 3 crossbow bolts, basically. So I would be using one of those up. I mean... I don't know whether clicking on this will immediately use force in some way, or whether it will open up a force menu. Will it immediately spend vitality? I don't know. I'm going to try clicking on this and see what happens. Getting through them should be easy enough. Oh. So because I have warrior's training, I don't have to take any of those dangerous options. I can just say, yep, go get them. Ah, no, this is toggling the force option. Okay, alright. Well, sure, should be easy enough. If I'm a warrior and that's what I think, then let's do it. You can learn more about your abilities in the character sheet. Initially, your horse completely trusts your guidance, though after a few more steps it snorts. You prepare your axe and get ready to push away any griffin willing to jump on you. Once you get in the middle of the surprised herd, your mount squeals and gallops forward. The creatures in front of you flee, but others try to jump at you from both sides. You kick 2 of them away, and while the third one gets close, its beak lands only on your boot. The hard leather keeps you safe. You ride away, and the griffins can't keep up. You still hear their screeches when your mount slows down. Nourishment, that's what this one was. How hungry I am. Yeah, I forget if I said that or not. If it was how sleepy I think I said how sleepy I am. No, this is how hungry I am. Oh, and this is what... Okay, day. Alright. So, sure. Where's my character sheet? Here. Years of training to become a fighter, to help the local villages, and to make this region safer for the locals and newcomers alike. While your vitality is above 0, you find ways to overcome physical struggles. You have an advantage during physical interactions that involve random chance. Okay. And these are my kind of basic stats. Oh, this is interesting. My appearance is 1 out of 5, and these are the factors that go into it. If I were stained with blood, I assume I would look less comely. If my clothes were falling apart, and so on. And if my vitality were very poor, I assume that would make my appearance worse. Maybe if I had great vitality, my appearance would be better, but that doesn't quite make sense to me. Combat experience, slight. Oh, here's my religion, Eremite, member of a fellowship. You pray to the right and follow the river of freedom. You're from a small village and you believe that the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. Your community is unique and independent, and so are its members. Yes, that was the religion I chose. Huh. Faith undetermined. Interesting. Sewing experience. Seems useful. And gambling. Alright. Sure. I don't give them an opportunity to catch up with me. I've made it to a forest, it would seem. Keep track of your achievements as your journey unfolds. Up here? My name is Leto, I used to be a fighter. Where would I keep track of my achievements? Character, or... It's just like... There's an axe here. Oh. Right-clicking anywhere brings up my character sheet, I guess? Or the menu. One entry of which is the character sheet. Does my journal have achievements? It told me to, like, track my achievements, but I don't see where I could do that. Huh. Oh my gosh, I know about all kinds of creatures. I could read about trolls. Okay, good to know. Does the archive say something? This is just... No, this is just the stuff that was on the main screen. Okay. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. Yeah, northwest? The forest to the right is lush, and the trail overgrown. Kids used to love this song. Oh, how did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. Oh, well, I guess, okay. I thought they just meant it was written poorly. But no, it's a sign that is not writing, right? It is not formal language. It's just a red arrow pointing east, indicating danger. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. I look at my horse. My horse's name? Yes, of course. It's always been the Sodal. Sodal is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Horses don't have a gender? Okay. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple of steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to make a turn. Well, I mean... I think I'd rather go towards a hotel than a dragon's mouth, so let's go west. Sodal? Trots with ease. Unbothered. Maybe I should have picked a name I could pronounce, huh? Unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. Roe deer? What does that mean? Is that like a normal English thing? looking a lot of stuff up in this game. Just a kind... It's like a species of variety of deer. Okay. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. It must be the inn I've heard about. Inns like this one fit the regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet, right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They wear gambesons, each one of them dyed differently, yellow, green, and linen gray. Alright, I guess I'll approach the gate. What is this, by the way? Oh, okay, force. I approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long... By the way, why not the woman? Maybe they're not talking about the people on the gate? She's someone... Like, there are people on the... Yeah, I'm not quite sure if she's one of the 3 people who was just discussed or not. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I hadn't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Havlavin. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Yeah, so these are the 3 guards that they told us about. The third one is in gray, I think, right? Well, this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? Okay, so choose an attitude. I mean, she seems playful enough. I don't know if this is exactly flirtatious, you know, or you know, just sort of playing along. I could be friendly, but you know, she looks like she sounds anyway like she might appreciate a joke. We were warned not to joke around with the innkeeper, but this isn't her. Okay, so yeah, you can choose attitudes. Okay, so this is my second time interacting with the attitude dialogue, and the first time I clicked on a thing and then I clicked what was below it, and I wondered, oh, could I have changed my mind? Yes, so this is letting me preview what I could say that would choose a particular... Oh my god, how about you give it a try? No way, this is my horse, lady. Yeah. It's easy to learn the basics, but it's tiring. You train different muscles than those for combat. Jeez, rude. It's an inn, let me in, hello. Quite hard, some days are still rough on me. Nah, I think playful's the right answer. I mean, it seems to fit the atmosphere, and yeah, this is right. You wouldn't believe it. The lessons were a pain. That's a lot of words. You get off your horse and imitate the silly walk from the day that followed your first long journey, when your whole shell was crying. You illustrate the pain as you move your hand from your back to hips, then thighs. In return, the guards tell you about that time when they had to carry their friend with bitten-off legs for 3 days straight through the heart of the woods. Boy, what a fun story. Meanwhile, the other guards open the gate. The other guards. I thought there were only 3 guards. You may be in a good mood, the woman in the yellow jacket smiles at you, but don't get so noisy when you talk to our boss. The man never smiles. He has the world's suffering sculpted on his face. Yeah, I've heard this. This is my second warning not to joke around with the innkeeper. Okay. And furthermore, maybe you don't even, like, be friendly with him. Just distant business before anything with this guy. She leads you under the roof, under which your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with our boss. Maybe you're hungry? The other guards take care of various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making a rope. You head toward the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yard. So, by the way, like I mentioned in the first video, the fact that they were explaining horses to me, and also pointing out that most people couldn't even ride a horse, I said, boy, this is a world where horses are unusual. And so this interaction with these guards has confirmed this information to me. They're like, I've never seen a horse this big, or whatever they said. Haven't seen a palfrey in some time. Palfrey? Okay, I opened the door. A new shelter, the inn. If you're at an inn in the morning, you can spend the entire day on resting if you want. Okay. So it's still like 12 hours before dusk. It's still morning, I think. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I've a keg of decent ale. Wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's gonna spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. I do stand at the counter, okay. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Oh, he used to be a ninja. Maybe. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my Pelt of the North doesn't belong to Havlavan. Remember, that's the name of the inn. His inn. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, but I'd need to check. Alright, well, I mean, seems like distance is what he wants, so we'll do that. I won't stay here for long, I introduce myself. He nods and fills another mug, this time with water. I guess there's no point in waiting for Astarion, then. I'm glad to see someone taking his place. Even my crew here hits the road only if they need to see the healers of Howler's Dell, and they're more than resourceful. A Roadwarden is always going to find work here in the north, though maybe not on the eastern road. He takes a mouthful of water and drinks it with a pleased sigh. There are no guests here at this time, or hardly ever. I can take a short break. For a brief moment, he meets your eyes. I mean, I'll drink the ale. I don't think it's poisoned. I guess I'm a very trusting Roadwarden. Maybe I shouldn't be. My character has been giving me reason to be wary, but I've been told by people that this inn is trustworthy and this guy is not behaving in a spooky manner. So sure, drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug. Wooden walls of the mug. I wouldn't describe a mug as having walls normally, but okay, sure. They make the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The lee in spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. The lee in spring. So it's ale that smells like grassland? I guess? Flowery? While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is? There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike. But they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day, they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around. I'm sure you'll get there sooner or later. Ask Thais, the mayor, about Glaucia? That bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glaucia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her band. Ask the mayor about a woman who is a fighter of some kind or organizes fighters. Glaucia's ready to break the truce with the locals. Is Glaucia the bandit leader or a person who might fight bandits? I can't really tell. Break the her band. Yeah, Glaucia must be the bandit leader. So, like, the bandits have a truce with the locals around the settlement of Howler's Dell. But it sounds like she's planning to do a raid anyway against the truce. And the innkeeper is saying, okay, if she's going to start taking out locals, I'm going to join up with the locals to get rid of her. I think I've understood the relationships here correctly. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Sure. I mean, this is the kind of thing I would be doing anyway. I'm not going to haggle over it. Fine. Great. What else do you need? Well, I am hungry, right? My nourishment is quite low. Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket and a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucketful. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. Okay, so he wants me to gather some berries, and then I'm going to eat pig slop, I guess. Well, no. They're leftover human food that were going to be pig slop. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long, curved claw, almost black. Half an hour of berry picking, or do I look like someone who forages for berries? Look. What I look like is someone who's hungry and who only has, like, 2 dragon bones or something, right? I have 5 dragon bones. Or 5 coins, which I assume are dragon bones each. A single coin's worth a lot, yeah. But outside the city, they usually prefer to barter anyway, right? So, in exchange for some food, sure, I'll pick some berries. Although I will ask him, apparently, why it's going to take half an hour. The tools are cold, not too heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of your bucket. Ah, the berries are not a problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. And protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Okay, but before I go... It sounds like he doesn't know about Asterion either, but... he might... I mean, he doesn't know everything, but he might know something, like where Asterion was last seen. Are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the tabletop and grunts quietly to clear his throat. But I do want to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that he took the coins and ran away? He looks at a window and starts to play with the shutter. I just think Asterion ain't the kind of soul that would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a Roadwarden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I think he stayed in the White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So let me know once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. Alright, I'll think about it. So what is... Oh, this is this is a dragon bone. This is an icon indicating these are money-based interactions. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this stuff when I get back, I assume. You step outside. Sodal is looking around. You hear the sounds of work coming from the armorer's workshop. I mean, I'm hungry. Go to the well just to get some water? I don't really have any business there right now. I could chat with the guards. Ask them, say, does he send everyone to forage for berries? But, like, what are they gonna say, right? I'll go forage for berries. All business. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look through the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. Okay, sure. Gather the berries and go back to the inn. It's... Oh, you know what's funny? My first assumption was that wet, like the left side of this would be the beginning of the day, because we kind of imagine time moving from left to right when there's a reason to assign a direction to time. Right? And so, like, you would think left is early, right is late. But the sun does go, it rises in the east and moves to the west, which I guess is the model they're using here. It's still, like, before noon, is what this is supposed to indicate to me. Okay. Sure. I gather the berries and go back to the inn. You've returned to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Oh. I would have liked to check out the skirmish, but fine, I'll enter the inn. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly... Okay, we've read all this. The innkeeper's mixing something in a pot at the stove. Yeah, it's my lunch, bro. Or my breakfast, I guess. Yeah. Do I need anything? Yeah, I need the pig slop you offered me. Here are your fruits, dude. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. So my nourishment went from 1 to 3. It's easier to overcome physical struggles. Great. So the choice is to say thanks or just shrug him off? Brush him off, excuse me? I guess I'll say thanks. How'd that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. Just... Oh yeah, lost the hook, sorry. What a stupid lie. I'm not in a big hurry to buy it from him. I have an axe. I give him the hook. I'm fine. He takes the hook from you and nods. I see. I already asked for leftovers today, so I can't ask again. Yeah, didn't the soldiers said it's leftovers are usually free here? Or obviously you could like pay for food if you wanted, but and sleeping on the ground is free, or the floor. Yeah, why is this building here? This big fancy inn. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a gentle smile. It was built long before we arrived. It didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, the villages stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they can afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. I'm not against running an inn, but we don't rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest in exchange for furs, claws, and bones. Whoops, I put a comma there. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need and more, both from the south and the north. He moves to the window and peeks outside. We have a good life here. We spent a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears. But in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move to Havlavin and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have to ask him, like, yeah, but where did you really come from? Is there a good story behind... Oh, I have more choices. Is there a good story behind the inn's name? I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in my city it would be in bad taste. Taverns and inns named with a single word were cheap, had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw, and Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least two words. Empty Barrel, A Rose in a Helmet, Empress's Smile. Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive, he chuckles. In my soul, it's still just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for and what will make us reach our goals. What is this place called? Like, Pelt of the North, right? Yeah. Alright. I mean, I have some money. Do I have anything he'd want to buy? I don't think so. Hidden? Hang on, what? Oh. I didn't see this before. This is like my crucifix or whatever. It's a religious icon to demonstrate my allegiance to the right. Which I still don't understand whether that's like God of a specific church or what. Or just in general allegiance. Yeah, there's nothing I want to sell. I brought all this with me because I need it. But I have some money. You have anything for sale? New trader unlocked. I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot, just as nice for a wall. An almost untouched bowl of soap. Priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash. Strong, though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mention you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. Well, I mean, elk fur, right? Like, I've been sleeping on the ground. My travel sack or whatever. I just have a cloak, right? Like, I could use an elk fur to sleep on, I think. But okay, fine. Or sleep under if the ground is soft enough and it's too cold, maybe. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew bow, wool cords, and the trigger needs just a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. It takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Well, let me take a look at what you have first. Yeah, these are all things I don't really need. Oh, the elk fur. All right, so that's very expensive stuff. A box of soap. So I could buy 3 meals for a coin. The elk fur is apparently way too fancy for the likes of me. I mean, quarrels for the crossbow I'm sure would be fine. I kind of think, like, the bar of soap, like, I'm a stinker, right? That's one of the 4 vital stats I have, is how much I stink. And right now, it's like, yeah, you do. I'm buying soap. And, I mean, these coins aren't doing much right now. I have 5. I'm short on food. Let's buy some more. Okay. Cool. I don't think I need to buy more crossbow arrows just now. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? I mean, I guess it's free to ask. He's not interested. Yeah, I didn't want to sell any of it either. Oh, there's a little pop-up there that I didn't read. Hopefully it wasn't important. Oh, is it going to show up again? No. Alright, well. Any rumors worth sharing? That does seem like something a Roadwarden would care about. He crosses his arms. I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby, but you know what you're doing. Who are you wondering about? I just meant, like, you know, about the area. I didn't want to ask about specific people. Like, you know, is there people talk about an old haunted mansion up on the hill or something? I mean, I don't know that many names. I could ask about those necromancers to the northwest, I guess. When he crosses his arms, the room gets a bit colder. I'm a city man, Roadwarden. I've seen dozens of priests and monks saying the craziest shit for the sake of coin, dominance, and obsessions. Pagans, druids, necromancers, I don't care about any of it, as long as they keep to themselves. The locals ain't hostile, and I won't repay them by spreading rumors about them. Alright, fair enough. He doesn't trust me. See you later. Yeah, I mean, that's all I care to ask. Sodal is looking around. And it's still... I haven't spent basically any time here, it seems. I mean, I've kind of got armor, I think. Go to the well, now that I got some soap. Maybe I can clean up. The recently renovated wooden roof covers the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying the cold drink he drew with a bucket, and tells you to use only as much water as is necessary. The oak ash soap you own can help you get cleaner. You need 3 pieces of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. So right now I have 1, so I can get something. People don't trust me because my face is dirty. Alright, let's wash up. Splashing yourself with cold water from a bucket won't take away your smell, but it's enough to remove the tallow and sweat from your skin or mud stains from your clothes. Great. And as far as I know, he gave me it was a big old bowl of soap, right? So I'm not using up soap, I think. Is it in my travel set? Yes. You also found some equipment that'll help you stay clean. Cool. So anytime I want to wash up, It seems I can return to 2 out of 5 appearance, maybe. Alright. I don't think he's going to suddenly want to talk to me just because I don't stink as much. How about the armorer? I don't think I need to buy any armor, but maybe. Probably can't afford any. I only got like 3 dragon bones. You walk past the well and find a small open shed, not unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are 2 people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second person is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Well, it seems like he already noticed me. Just waiting for him doesn't seem like it would be interesting. Plus, I'm a big, strong guy. Maybe he can be intimidated if I insist on saying hello. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his mask. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is that you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. Huh. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? I mean, I assume so. It's kind of insulting to ask, really. I may be in need of your services. He nods, points at the laces in the front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers to his shoulders, then gently spreads and lowers them as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out 1 dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. So he thinks it would cost me 1 or 2 dragon bones to do something with my armor. Oh. Your jacket is as good as this armorer can make it. Okay. Could use some adjustments? I think it's fine. I don't need to ask if he's learning the trade. Teenagers don't want to be bothered by me anyway, I'm sure. The guards? The woman in yellow armor is kneeling next to a brown, hairy boar, which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones from the forests. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush with grateful grunting and rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well. And you have no doubts that its charge would leave Sodal dead in a breath. When the woman notices you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, the new Roadwarden? I don't remember what accent I used for her goofy country talk. She points at a window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use some assistance. She may be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch of time on her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots and fruitlessly sniffing for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats its back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time, and we can talk a bit about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins, or lose one. She winks. We could play dice, or throw axes at a target. Oh my god. Well, I'm no good at dice, but I trained with an axe. Could be a fun way to make friends with the locals, and I spent 45 minutes since last time I looked, by the way. Or 30? I don't remember. Could be a good way to make some friends, and I might win some coins, who knows? Show me what you got. Your arrival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. The guards prepare a couple of wooden planks, which are leaned against the wall. I guess these guys are practiced axe throwers. I don't know if I am or not. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on the tower. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. There's going to be 4 participants in 8 rounds. You aim at the target drawn with charcoal. The person whose axe lands the closest to the center of the circle gets a point. Axes that fail to stay in the plank don't count. The person who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes the winner. Alright, I'll blend in with the group. You talk a lot, but don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Sodal and Tulia's camp are also brought up, but when you ask about the roads or the locals, their stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from the leftovers after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything, the boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't expect to be that lucky every time. Or can I? I'm a warrior. I've trained in axe throwing for years. I've got this. I got 3 coins! After getting your 4th point, the other players nod with respect. Quite a score, you hear from the guard in yellow armor as she hands you your dragon bones. The other participants carry away the remaining planks. I don't really need to ask any more questions. Well, I guess I did say part of the reason I was chatting with these guys was to learn something about the area. And the narrative text about the contest confirms that my character wants to do that as well, right? I asked about the local area and they all just kind of brushed me off. I guess I should at least ask about this place or see what questions are available. Not much to tell, honestly. There are many beasts around, both wild game and dangerous monsters. We spend our time surrounded by these walls, leaving only to hunt, forage, or trade. What do you usually hunt for? That might be helpful to know. Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge, a squirrel, or a rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and aurochs are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at a strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks up again. And we look for furs, of course. What is the meaning of this? Obviously, I understand the words. She looks at a strand of her hair and then says, oh yeah, furs. What am I supposed to... Like, that's a social hint of some kind, right? You never have an... Maybe talking about spears reminded her of something? She was lost in thought for a moment? I don't know. It's a mystery. None of this other stuff really matters to me. I could ask about the boar, but I don't care. It's their problem. What's north of here? Sure. I'm sorry, we don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home, only sometimes move south or west to Howler's Dell, but only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need, since they then take wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never even seen a beach, and I've been living here for... how many? More than 10 years from now? She giggles. The only part of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is placed on a hill. I've never put a toe in salt water. She looks toward another huntress who confirms that her experience is the same. But Old Pagos is a good place. As long as you don't mock their order and act nice, they'll also be kind. Boss says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Oh my god, the boss is serious. He doesn't like joking. Okay, so we learned about a place. I don't think I need to ask any of this stuff. See ya. I mean, what, ask about snakes? See ya. Yeah. I guess I'll leave. Wait. I don't want to go to any of these places. I want to leave. Ah! The travel menu. This is just generally available. Well, yeah, they said they generally... I mean, there's dragons over here. Don't want to go that way. Or danger, anyway. And it tells me the travel time to get somewhere. Okay. The road uphill meanders, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention not only to the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight, rocky passages. You can't help but notice a few caves and fine ambush spots. Presumably not talking about me wanting to ambush something, but places where I might be ambushed myself. I keep an eye out for any sign of life. The ruined village. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no... The gate? I don't think I heard about a village, even. Huh, I mean... Right? I just was walking and there were fine ambush points, and then... Suddenly I'm at a gate? Did I miss something? No voices, no tools at work, no steps. Dozens of birds live among the collapsed roofs. Their fluttering, singing, and squawking is free of worries. If you want to travel any further, you need to ride around the palisade. Searching the ruins may take a lot of time. The broken gate in the north will lead you to the village. The sound of a gentle river reaches you from the east, where you see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an oddly barren field. Huh. I mean, nobody told me about this ruined village, I don't think. And they did say there was a village to the west, nearby. So this might be recently destroyed? Maybe not. Head to the broken gate? I guess? Toward the village? The palisade is in good shape, and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of used force must have been huge, but you'd expect that it would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see any marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss such planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. What? I'm having trouble understanding what my character's thinking about. I see a village. It's burned down. There's no dragon bite on the gate. The gate was pushed out, away from the village. So something from within, maybe. Like nothing slammed into the gate to break into the town. It either picked up the gate and threw it, or it came from inside. Okay, what about the building near the field? The broken logs and plants are charred, while the wooden walls are rotten and covered in moss. You see no ashes or dust, proving that the fire happened long ago. Long ago, like years, or like days? Must be years. There'd still be ashes. At least weeks later, you would think. The smell is awful, and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends were already taken by the scavengers. Alright. I guess I'll explore the southwest part of the village? Or the southwest fields, or the pasture in the southeast? No, the village. Oh, it's filling in... This is cute. The buildings, some of which have collapsed, are made of wood, now charred and rotten. You spot claw marks on the walls, especially close to the doors and window frames. They could belong to a dragonling, or a large wolf larger than the gray ones, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess. Yet no beast remains in sight. You find the remains of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to be of use. A basket-like fish trap made of vines and willow branches. If a large fish swims into it, it won't be able to get out on its own. By the way, like, my understanding of this game is that it is sort of, I mean, roguelike is a very broad term these days, but like, the world, I think, is not the same every time you explore it, is my understanding. I'm not sure at what point, like, that variance happens. Presumably the soldier's camp is the first thing you start at every time, and they tell you about the inn and you go there, but most of the people didn't want to tell me much about the local area, which sort of fits with it being randomly generated every time, for example. So, I don't know. Just something to think about. I also don't know how large the scope of the demo will be. Will, after a couple days, will they say, buy the game if you want to continue? Or is it just the demo is one configuration of the whole area you can play all 40 days with, but you can't explore a new kind of random world? I don't know. It's quite large, but I can fit it on my saddle. Alright, so I'm getting fishing tools, I guess. Picked up a fish trap. Let's take a closer look. Basket-like tool meant to be kept in a shallow freshwater. Fish enter it from time to time, seeking shelter, getting lured by a set bait. Has a single funnel-shaped hole, which resizes when a creature tries to squeeze through it, but then returns to its original position, prisoning the prey. Yeah. In an ideal situation, the fish catch themselves on their own, while the hunter takes care of other chores. Still, building a fine trap may take even half a day, depending on size, shape, and used materials, and they are anything but permanent. They tend to rot and are often destroyed or robbed by the local wildlife, tempted by the easy reward. Because of this, they are usually seen as a source of additional luxury rather than the main source of food. Okay. Fields in the southwest? Down here? Yeah. You're surrounded by what looks like a field plowed in late autumn, disturbed by hundreds of rains and snowfalls. It's been abandoned for years. How do I know it's plowed in late autumn? I don't understand that. There's a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, abandoned for years, should already have turned itself into a green lea. A barren field? Maybe it was overused, but you would still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of the field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. In the north, you see a path leading around the palisade. Alright. Check out the main square. A lot to say. In every village, the main square is the fanciest area, meant to charm the travelers. Yet this is way more than you expected. The houses are as big as in Havlavin, and the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls, now charred and riddled with holes, are made of an expensive coated wattle? Not quite sure what that is. Some kind of material? I could look it up. I assume it is a real English word and not something made up for this universe, but it doesn't seem important. The tiles for the roofs also had to be brought here from a different settlement. You peek inside the three smaller buildings, the rotting remains of their former splendor. The birds living in dozens of nests respond to your arrival with quite a commotion. You don't find even a single dragon bone, nor a tool or a piece of furniture left unbroken or unrotten. You're surrounded by bad smells, dirt, animal droppings, and garbage. Sure, the town's been abandoned for years, people have looted it already, it makes sense. The well also stinks. It has no bucket, but you'd be afraid to use it anyway. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside, or how many old rats have found their death while climbing up the walls. Suddenly you hear sounds coming from the largest building. You stop and touch your aching stomach. I'm not starving. I just had lunch. think it's that advantageous to check it out right now. I could go back later. The closer you are to the village, the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. The taste of gastric juices fills your mouth. Your forehead hurts. You start to stumble. Sodal, worried by the sight, pokes your head with its nose. Yeah, I should get out of here. Something... This is not a good place. I'll walk far away from the walls. Leaning on your mount, you go outside, keeping your mouth shut. After a few minutes, your eyes get clearer. It may be better to leave, or at least to stay away from the village for the rest of the day. You stop and touch your aching stomach. Why? I'm not aching. I'm fine. Oh, like, because it's so smelly here, I'm feeling sick, or... Yeah, I don't think I'm gaining much inspecting this. Oh, but I can't come back until I finish doing at least a couple of things, huh? Okay, check out the pasture in the southeast. You don't find a single sign of the livestock that lived here in the past. Any bones, horns, antlers, or dung have already been devoured by the wilderness. The pasture ends at the river. On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest, impenetrable for a rider. What are the chances that a herd of defenseless animals could get there and survive? The breach in the southern fence wasn't made by some brute force. You find axe cuts in the spots that were ultimately broken away.'t all these years, there are no tracks that you could follow. Okay, that's almost noon now. Back to the main road. I guess I'll check out the palisade in the west. The tracks of human footwear and many, many more ape footprints cover the path formed around the palisade's breach. As far as you can tell, the freshest footprints lead to the village. Okay, so maybe apes are in the village? The wooden stakes spread on the ground are rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. A good source of animal or goblin food, though you'd expect them to also hunt for the birds and eggs. Stakes spread on the ground. Oh, like the palisade that would have made up the palisade but have fallen down, maybe? The meadow in the west turns into a forest quickly. The grasses in the north surround dozens of tree stumps, already covered with moss and fungi. Going south, you'll reach a large field, though you don't see any crops. I shouldn't enter the forest, it's unpredictable. Haven't I already inspected a clearing in the west? I guess not. Well, I must do this now. Over here, okay. The meadow is lush and colorful, and so dense it's unsafe for a rider. A dense meadow? What does that mean? Like lots of bushes? For a couple of minutes, you lead Sodal with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar and have a comparable size. They were most likely planted with the sole purpose of being cut down and used by the locals. Though cutting so many trees at once, that alone could provoke the wrath of the herds. Such a process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. The wrath of the herds. Herds of what? In the west and north, the clearing turns into a wild forest. In the east, you see a road leading north. Okay, so I have to go all right. I'll have to scout all around the village before I can leave, it seems. Go to the road leading north. A closed northern gate. The neglected road is partially overgrown. You hear a river in the east, separated by the lush meadow. Crickets and rodents. Okay, look at the gate. Pushed or pulled, it doesn't move an inch. Someone has spread dirt and rocks both underneath and around it, seemingly to keep the planks stuck in the ground. Alright, bye. Head to the river. You see a quenching family of boars. Okay, they're drinking. Some of them brown, some black. You consider turning back, but they pay you little attention. After a couple of grunts, they run north. The river is not too wide, yet unusually deep, with banks altered by the locals for decades, if not centuries. The water is cold and clean, yet filled with long plants growing from the bottom. You would rather avoid jumping inside or drinking from it, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens, if not hundreds, of small fish are looking for tasty leaves, but also try to avoid their predators. A dance of life, completely unaware of your presence. You suddenly realize there's something else buried among the kelp. A rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes and hoes. The wooden handles in a large wagon are covered with moss, but you recognize their shapes. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns into a thick forest impenetrable for a rider. I could catch a fish, but it won't let me. I turn back. Oh, now I can do it. I bought some food. I don't necessarily need fish, but it would be nice to have luxury food, wouldn't it? You stop and touch your aching stomach. Yeah, of course. Well, I don't need to wash myself because I'm already clean. As clean as my soap can get me, I assume. Although I guess maybe there's more water in the... There's definitely more water, easily accessible water here. Maybe I could get even cleaner. Let's set up a fish trap. Place the basket on the ground and grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket. Yep, cover it. A few moments. That's still barely noon. Who knows how long it'll take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it'd be better to not wait for too long, otherwise the prey may die of hunger. The prey may die of hunger, like the fish I catch might die. I mean, that would be fine, right? I guess it's not a polite way to kill a fish, but I could still eat it. Alright, let's go wash. I can set the fish trap tomorrow or later, so it's just come back some other time. Okay, I see. I won't get any cleaner here. Yeah, okay. What? I can't click any of these buttons. Or, I mean, they're not... This is the only one... Like, they all light up when you can... Hello? Oh, travel. I can always leave. I keep forgetting this. I don't know if this is how long this has been available. Maybe I didn't have to finish exploring the whole thing. But, okay, I did. And I can't go back into the village because it's a bad place to be. If I had pushed through the illness, maybe I could have discovered something cool, but I didn't. Let's keep going west. Actually, it's probably time for a break, right? It's been almost an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean, definitely a slow game, but nice atmospheric music, a lot of reading to do, a world to be immersed in. I'm still having a fine time. So I'll take a break for now, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.